welcome to the show, Social Security, Securing Today and Tomorrow. I am sure that you have received a call recently from a person stating that they are with the Social Security Administration. Maybe if you have not received the call, one of your family members, a friend, a coworker, or somebody in your neighborhood. Beware, because that is most likely a scam. And today we have a guest from the Federal Trade Commission, Ms. Cristina Miranda, who is going to tell us all about scams. Cristina, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, we are very happy that you are able to be with us today. And what I would like to ask you first is, can you tell us a little bit about, you work for the Federal Trade Commission, the Consumer Division, Education Division. Can you tell us what exactly you do?
So I work in the Consumer and Business Education Division, and my job is to protect consumers from fraud and scams and to educate them as much as we can through videos, through our website, through our blogs, as to how to protect themselves from losing money to a lot of different scams that are happening around the United States.
Yes, and I was reading some reports, I think that just in 2019, there were about 48 billion robocalls. And the Social Security Office of Inspector General, as a matter of fact, received about 478,000 complaints of people, receiving these calls. The Social Security scam. What can you tell us about the Social Security scam and what the viewers can do to prevent this?
Right. It's a very serious scam that's been happening more and more. It's affecting a lot of older people, but it's affecting other people in general as well. So what happens with that scam, as you well know, is that maybe you receive a phone call out of the blue. It might be a robocall, somebody saying that your accounts, your benefits are about to be suspended. Social Security benefits are about to be suspended. You might receive even a letter in the mail from the government saying that your account is going to be suspended. Your Social Security benefits are about to be suspended. And it causes quite an alarm because you just don't expect that. And it urges you to call back, to see, what you can do about it. Sometimes when you receive the call, the caller ID might show that the call is coming from the Social Security Administration. Yes. You have to remember that a lot of these phone numbers can be faked, and the government will never call you. They will not reach out to you in that way. So when you receive a call from a scammer, it might, for example, that when they say they're from the Social Security Administration, they might say, we'd like to verify your Social Security number in order to reactivate your account. Otherwise, it's going to be seized. Then right then and there, they might put on some pressure tactics, and they might urge you, well, in order to get this resolved right away, you need to pay us. Usually they ask you to wire money, but more often than not, they're starting to ask people to pay with gift cards.
Yes, and that is really scary because, as you said, anybody and everybody can receive these calls. I just received somebody called the office and they said their child has actually received one of those calls that they didn't know what it was. And yes, sometimes, we do reviews, the Social Security Administration does reviews, and sometimes, yes, we will send you a letter, we will call you. But that is only if you are really transacting a business with us. So just be aware, and in order to protect our viewers, for them to learn a little bit more, I think that you have a video information that you would like to share with us.
We do, but before we go into the video, I just want to alert people that anyone that calls you out of the blue or sends you a letter out of the blue that claims to be from the government, you really need to act with caution. If someone calls you out of the blue, hang up and then call the agency that supposedly called you, not using the number that you saw on your ID, but use an actual number that you know to be true, to be credible. And also, anyone that asks you immediately, they have pressure tactics to pay with money, that is also a sign of some type of scam. But yes, as you alluded to, let's take a look at the Social Security Administration scam video where we have one of our FTC principals, Monica Vaca, that talks a little bit more about this type of scam, and also it interviews two victims, and we can see what happened.
Exactly. Let's watch the video then.
I got a phone call. Someone identified himself as a representative of the Social Security Office, and that a warrant, a no bail warrant, had been issued for my arrest. I'm I'm 83 years old, and it scared me to death.
The Social Security imposter scam is very widespread right now. What these scammers are trying to do is they're trying to induce a state of fear. They're trying to make you feel very, very panicked.
They actually said federal authorities, including an armed marshal, would appear at my door within the next 24 hours. That had me sort of feeling jittery.
Sometimes they'll ratchet up that anxiety by telling you that there are marshals or police officers or sheriff's deputies that are about to arrest you. That's very, very scary for people. So what they're doing is they're playing on your fear, on your anxiety, and on you wanting to do the right thing. That's how they're going to next try to control the next actions that you take.
And they told me to get in my car, drive to the store, and get a Google Play card and put the $500 on it and give them the number.
Once they've got those PIN numbers, they've got your money. So how do you take control back? Well, the first thing you want to do is just stop and take a breath. Take a moment and say, okay, thanks for the call. I need to investigate what's going on here. Hang up the phone. Go talk with somebody that you trust. Do a search on the internet.
When it happens, let other people know, because the more that it's talked about, the better armed people are to behave assertively when somebody's behaving aggressively toward them.
Since then, I have told everyone that I know and a whole lot of people that I don't know.
This scam is hitting all parts of the United States, and it is hitting people at every age level, every education level, every income level. If this isn't happening to you, this is happening to your neighbors. This is happening in your community. So, if it does happen to you, please talk about it. We know that when people are familiar with scams, they are much less likely to lose money. Report it to the FTC at ftc.gov/complaint.
Yes, it is amazing, what these people are doing. Okay, but the only way that we all can protect ourselves is to be in the know, to learn more, to contact the agencies, to make those reports, file those reports. And of course, there are many kinds of scams, Cristina. Can you tell us a little bit about other scams that are going on at this particular time?
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that you asked me that, because we have a webpage at consumer.ftc.gov. A more direct webpage would be ftc.gov/imposters that talks about the various imposter scams that a lot of people are experiencing. Among them are the SSA scam that we spoke about, the IRS scam, tech support scams, nanny and caregiver scams, family emergency scams. On that particular page, we have a lot of information about what to look out for in order to help you detect and also to stop these type of scams.
Yes, and I heard that there is also what they call like a gift card scam. Can you tell us a little bit about a gift card scam? How does that work?
That's one of my favorite topics right now about fraud. Not favorite in a good way, but I'm just glad that we're talking about it more. It used to be that imposters of any kind used to ask you to pay them for something out of the blue with wire transfer, and now they're asking more often for these gift cards. One thing I want everybody to remember, if someone is asking you to pay them with a gift card because you owe an IRS debt, because your Social Security benefits are going to be suspended, because they're a member of the military and they need help, because there's a family emergency, that all of a sudden someone calls you out of the blue and says, oh, they're in the hospital, they need money, because someone's threatening you with arrest or deportation, it is always a scammer. No one should ask you to pay them with a gift card at any time, not with Amazon, not with iTunes, not with Google Play or anything. Gift cards are for gifts. They are not for paying someone. If you receive a phone call or a text saying that you must pay somebody with a gift card, hang up. It is a scammer. The other thing that I will mention is that a lot of times we are seeing in the complaints that when this type of scam happens, the scammer likes to keep people on the telephone if they're called. And sometimes they will tell them, in order to pay this off immediately or to keep from your Social Security benefits from being suspended, you need to stay on the phone with me while you drive to Walmart, to Target, to CVS, to Walgreens or whatever, to buy me a gift card to pay off this debt. So there have been stories of people like putting their phones in their purse or just staying on the line with, the scammer, as the scammer coaches them through what to do and what to say to the cashier in case the cashier wants to stop them from, or help them spot a scam and stop them from buying gift cards. And so that's a sign of a scam. If somebody is on the phone with you trying to tell you what to say and what to do and how to go about buying a gift card, that is a red flag. You need to hang up right away. You need to call the card issuer. You need to report it to the police, and also please report it to the FTC at ftc.gov/complaint. Now you know why I'm so passionate about it. It's a really great topic.
Yes, and of course, what can a person, if somebody has already bought the card, you said that they can report to the card issuer,
Right.
so that way they can get the money back. And
Well, here's the problem, is gift cards are like cash. Once you buy a gift card and that money is used, you can't really trace it and you can't get it back. That's what makes it so desirable for scammers to use. But I will say this, at ftc.gov/gift cards, we have a list of contacts for Google Play, for iTunes, for Amazon, for MoneyPack, etc., that if you feel that you have been scammed by using a gift card, you can go there and call the numbers that we have listed there that are always updated, or emails that we have listed there, and call or contact that card issuer immediately, but it has to be immediately. With certain cards, you might get lucky, I'm not saying that you will, that they might be able to stop the payment or they might be able to
Okay.
get some money back, but that is not always the case. I would say like 90% of the time, you're not going to see that money again.
yes, and of course, I also heard there is another scam going on, a romance scam, online dating scam.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I can only imagine just by listening to the name what this is like.
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit, how did that work? I mean,
The romance scams are really interesting, especially right now as we're heading into the new year and we're going into February. There are a lot of people thinking, well, I want to try something new in my life. I need, I need something. And they go online. They go on Facebook. They go on online dating sites and they try to find true love. And what's happening is that a lot of the times, some of the profiles that you're seeing there of people are actually fake profiles. These are scammers that are basically wanting to rob you of your money. And what happens? They use emotional tactics for you. They start saying, oh, you're cute and I'm falling in love with you, and it's love at first sight. They want to get you off a social media platform to talk personally, maybe on your email or maybe on your phone. That's a big sign. And they start telling you a story. Oh, I'm working on an oil platform somewhere. I'm always working overseas. I'm a doctor in an international organization. I'm a member of the military, fallen in love with you, and I need for you to pay me money in order so that I can see you, so I can buy a plane ticket, or maybe I have a family emergency that I need money for. The thing is that they profess love to you right away. They kind of pull you along, and they always ask you for money. If someone's asking you for money, it's a scam. It's definitely a scam. You need to stop communicating with them immediately, and you need to report it to the FTC at ftc.gov/complaint.
so what happened in reality to the old-fashioned dating, right?
That's a good question.
Yes, because somebody that is telling you all those lies.
That's a very good
Of course,
question.
And where can people get more information, Cristina? Where can people report if they believe that they have been scammed?
We have a really great infographic, and we have a video on romance scams.
Looking for love in all the right places? Like popular dating sites, mobile apps, and social networking sites? Ron seems like a perfect match for you. He's thoughtful and says he can't live without you. He says he's from the US but works out of the country. He says he wants to visit but says he can't afford it. He asks you to send him money. Last month it was medical bills for his sick aunt. This month he needs money to fix his car. Next month, who knows? Ron wants your money. Don't send it. The person pretending to be Ron is a scammer. He'll tell you anything to get you to wire cash right away. He'll never run out of excuses. If an online love interest asks you for money, walk away, no matter how compelling the story. Report scams at ftc.gov/imposters.
And also look up romance scams on our consumer website at consumer.ftc.gov. As always, please report to the FTC when you see a scam or fraud that's happening, or if you become victim of one, ftc.gov/complaint. Now, I will say this, because we have a lot of comments coming in on our blog. Oh, the FTC doesn't do anything with these complaints or anything like that. That's not true. We cannot respond to every single complaint that there is out there. But please know that your complaint is being read. It's going into a database where our investigators are taking a hard look at it and establishing patterns of companies and individuals that are committing these frauds. And hopefully, maybe we would be able to bring a case against them.
Yes, and it's the same with us with Social Security. We have the Office of Inspector General. We have provided the information before. And when I said before that up to November of last year, we received 478,000 complaints, the Office of Inspector General knows that we must have many more. But people are not reporting these scams.
Right.
And reporting is the only way that your agency, my agency, the IRS, because there is scams with the IRS too, will get to the people behind these scams. So it's very important that people report. And please, once again, if you receive a call from a caller stating that they are calling from the Social Security Administration, be careful. It might be that it's one of these scammers. If you are receiving benefits, if you are conducting a business with us, it would be better that you call our toll-free number, and initiate the call, start the call, okay? We have to go to a short break, but we will be right back. Stay with us, please.
In today's connected world, personal information sometimes falls into the wrong hands, and that can lead to identity theft. It might start with an unfamiliar charge on your credit card. A business might not accept your check, or a debt collector might call you about a bill that isn't yours. You're not alone. Identity theft can happen to anyone. Stay calm. Visit identitytheft.gov to report it and get a personal recovery plan. IdentityTheft.gov helps you create an identity theft report. This report proves to businesses that someone stole your identity and makes it easier to fix problems caused by identity theft. To create an identity theft report, you can file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. IdentityTheft.gov guides you through each step of the recovery process. You can generate the letters and forms you need, track your progress, and keep detailed records of people you've talked to. No matter what your identity theft situation is, IdentityTheft.gov can help, because recovering from identity theft is easier with a plan.
Hello, welcome back to the show Social Security, Securing Today and Tomorrow. We are talking to Cristina Miranda from the Federal Trade Commission. We're talking about anything and everything about scams and identity theft. And before we start talking about identity theft, Cristina, can you tell us a little bit more, please, about where people can find more information about scams, the different scams, and what are the resources people have?
Yes, we have a lot of resources available for people. You need to visit our website at consumer.ftc.gov. That is our premier website where you can get blogs, all the information about the various scams and fraud that are happening. You can keep up to date with it. You can order free resources in English and in Spanish at ftc.gov/bulk order as well.
Of course, you know, people can also still go to the website, visit your website, visit our website, learn more.
Right.
So that is the only way that if they learn more, they can take the steps today to protect themselves.
That's right. And always remember to file a complaint with us at ftc.gov/complaint.
Of course. Filing the complaint is important because, first of all, that is the only way that our investigators are going to get to the people behind these scams, behind identity theft. So it's important that people file complaints. Our Office of Inspector General, out of the 478,000 reports they received as of November of last year, they believe there are many more that people are not reporting. So we need people to report those scams. Suspicious of identity theft if somebody think it's a victim. And in terms of identity theft, What can you tell us? What is identity theft? What are the types of identity theft?
So identity theft happens to a lot of people. It'll probably happen to you over a lifetime. I know it happened to me way before I started working at the Federal Trade Commission. So it happens when somebody uses your Social Security number or other personal information to open up an account, to make purchases, or to obtain a tax refund. And there are many different types of ID theft. Some of the more common ones are child ID theft. And that one's a little scary because we're always telling people, you know, when your child turns 16, pull their credit report. They shouldn't have one. But pull their credit report to see what information has been reported on them thus far. In case you find any errors, you can find that somebody has maybe stolen their identity and gotten a loan or opened up an account under their name. You need to clear out that information and get in touch with the credit reporting agencies to get that fixed before they go to college, before they get an apartment, before they seek employment. Otherwise, it's going to follow them and it's going to harm them. Other type of really common ID theft is medical. And also the one that we mentioned as well, the tax ID theft as well, where people are trying to obtain your tax refund.
Yes. How did that happen? How can somebody prevent identity theft?
So, identity theft happens in many, many ways. It can be that someone steals your information, out of the garbage can. It could be someone steals your purse or your wallet. It could be someone, looking over your shoulder during a bank transaction. They're just a data breach, which are huge nowadays. All those things are compromising your personal information. So, the way that you usually find out about it is, maybe you get a notice from the IRS saying that you owe a debt, or you find some unfamiliar accounts being charged on your credit report. You find maybe that there are some cash withdrawals from your checking account that definitely weren't there, or you're getting calls from debtors that's saying you owe a debt that you didn't even know existed. One of the easiest ways to always keep an eye out for identity theft is to pull your annual credit report at annualcreditreport.com. That will give you a view of the 3 credit reporting agencies. It will show exactly what's being reported about you. If there's any information on there that is wrong or that you didn't know about, you need to call the credit reporting agencies to get it corrected. It could be very well that a scammer has been using that information to open up accounts or get a loan, that you didn't really know about. There is a way that you can recover from identity theft, and I just want to mention that really quick because I know we're short on time. Identitytheft.gov is the one-stop resource that you can use to enter your information about the type of ID theft that occurred and get a recovery plan that will take you step by step in what you need to do to file a police report, to call the credit reporting agencies, et cetera, to try to get this, to try to recover from it. We even have already cards, letters in there that you can pre-fill in order to send to the different credit reporting agencies. You can go in there and you can put in information about any type of ID theft. I think we have over 39 different types of ID theft that you can put in for that you will get information about, and also that recovery plan.
We really hope that you are able to, you as a viewer are able to really take a look at all those videos, use the many resources that are available to you, because identity theft scams can happen to any of us at any time, as you said before.
That's right.
There is also tax ID theft. What happens when there is a tax ID theft?
So especially now that we're gearing up in the springtime to file our taxes, this is something that's really, really important. This is when tax identity thieves try to claim your tax refund as their own. So what we're telling people is to please file your tax return very early if you can. Make sure you're using a very secure electronic connection, or send it directly from your local post office. Respond to all mail from the IRS as soon as possible. And if tax ID theft happens to you, you need to go to that website that I mentioned, identitytheft.gov, and you need to report it right away. And that's a place where you will get that type of recovery plan if that certain type of tax ID theft has happened.
Yes. And of course, once again, if a person falls victim of identity theft, of a scam, they need to complete the report.
They need to
It's
complete the report.
important.
Yes.
And can you tell us once again where a person can report?
Yes. Identitytheft.gov is where you go for any type of identity theft, tax ID theft, child ID theft, data breaches, related to ID theft. Identitytheft.gov is where you can go. It's a one-stop resource where you fill out information there and you get a recovery plan, a personalized recovery plan that will walk you step by step in terms of what you need to do.
Perfect. And I also believe that, federal agencies such as the IRS, Social Security Administration, I know that we have a link to the Office of Inspector General because all of these agencies have a section, a unit of investigations. So you can always report to us. I know in my agency, especially because nowadays we are undergoing that Social Security scam, which is a big scam. We have in our homepage a red alert that provides the person the opportunity, it brings the person to the page where they can file a report. It's important that people that are listening file those reports, to be aware of it, to share the information with others, because maybe you got one of those calls. Talk to your family members, correct?
Yes. Talk to your family members. Talk to people that you trust about any of these type of calls that you may be getting. But the most important thing with any of these calls is to know is that the government, especially if it's from the federal government, the government won't call you. And the government won't ask you to pay them money in that way. You need to hang up. You need to look up what the real number is and call them back and say, hey, I got a phone call from, SSA or IRS or whatever. I just want to verify this. Is this true? And they'll tell you.
Correct. Yes, Social Security does reviews, when people receive benefits, Cristina. So we do call people. We do send letters.
Yes.
And they will be through letters, appointment letters, information that we need to gather when somebody receives benefits just to make sure that, they're still eligible to continue receiving the benefits that we administer. But if you have suspicions that it's not really from Social Security, the person can always call back our toll-free number. They can visit the local office. Así que the most important thing is please be aware, be cautious, be vigilant, and act. If you receive one of those calls, most definitely file a report.
Yes.
Any other recommendations that you can provide to our viewers, Cristina?
It's just sign up for our blog. We have them in English and Spanish, consumer.ftc.gov, to stay on top of all the different cases that we're doing, the frauds, and also file a complaint with us, ftc.gov/complaint. We cannot read and we cannot respond to all the complaints, but please know it's going into a database. Our investigators are taking a really hard look at it, and we actually create consumer education out of those complaints that we see. So, it's just very important. And also, if you want to order free materials to distribute to your friends, family, neighbors about different types of fraud and scams, go to ftc.gov/bulk order. We'll give everything to you for free. You just pass it out in the schools, community centers, whatever, and just try to help us get the word out more and more. Talk to each other. Try to alert each other to these fraud and scams, and together we can stay on top of it.
Great. Cristina, this has been a wonderful interview. Thank you very much for all the useful information that you have provided. And I'm hoping that this is not the only time that you come and visit us at this show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cristina. And thank you for watching.